Bonsoir, bienvenue au...
I just told you how to say it.
Bonsoir.
Et bienvenue au McMuscles
Massacre de midnight.
de minuit.
De
Le
minuit.
massacre de minuit. Chapitre 2.
Chapter 2. Today we are looking not at a movie,
Nope.
but a TV show. I actually,
Series.
when we started watching this, just happenstance, a fan emailed me and said, you should definitely check out Marianne on Netflix. And I was like, oh, well, we're
Yeah.
watching it right now. So
Yeah,
that's
a
great.
lot of articles were being written about it. It's so scary. Don't watch alone.
Like,
That's
Marianne
scary.
is Netflix's newest horror hit.
Yeah,
Things
Marianne.
like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is a Netflix show, 8 episodes, I
yeah.
believe. Originates in France.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for any French, like if
You
it's
really
drama,
like 'em.
horror, thriller. I just really like them. I don't know why.
Oh, not like Quebecois French though.
I
Like,
don't
it has
mind
to be
those
Parisian
either,
French.
but yeah, like not necessarily Parisian French, like outskirts of France.
Remember we watched that other one about that hotel where that girl was dead?
Hotel Beau Séjour.
That one was really
That
good.
was really good. La Monte was good. It wasn't necessarily horror. It was like the woman. Like so many of these, and a lot of them are on Netflix because Netflix has stuff in all different countries, and like a lot of them are also Belgian
Yes.
French,
I'm
like
not-
Department Q. Remember we're like obsessed with Department
yeah.
Q.
I'm not sure if this is available on American Netflix. I assume it is because we've seen articles.
Maybe, yeah, I think it might be.
What is Marianne about?
Marianne is a story about a witch who basically sort of possesses this girl, Emma. I don't know if she possesses her. That's not the right word. She doesn't possess her, but she
Influences her, yeah.
And
She's an influencer.
oh shit, bitch.
Nothing scarier.
No. Well, this woman Emma, it's the story of her, and it starts off with her being this like kind of famous young adult, or maybe not young adult, but like horror writer.
It
She's been
seemed
writing for
it seemed very young adult.
yeah,
to me.
she's been writing this one character, Lizzie Lark, for like 10 years, has all this whole series, and she's like, I'm finishing the series, I'm killing off the character, or like I'm ending the character, and that's it, we're done. And she's like this raging alcoholic, writer, whatever, and she's at her last signing, and then someone from her past shows up, and it's like, you
Like
gotta go
from
home.
15 years ago, from her old town.
So she left her town that she lived in, which was called
Eldon.
Eldon. This little seaside place in France, and she hadn't been back for 15 years. I'm like, you gotta go back. She's like,
She says that someone's
Oh,
that her mom is that this friend from her past says her mom is acting very strange,
Strange, and
and she's
reads her
being
books.
influenced by your book.
yeah,
I think.
by Marianne. So
Yeah. With Marianne as a demon character that appears in the book.
yeah, she's like this. Is she married to a demon? I don't know. She repeats so many times, or she was a demon, or she ends up being a witch. But anyway, she can possess people, and there's this one rule that she has, which is part of your likes, and I like it too, is that she could never lie that that's her name. So when she's possessing someone, if you ask her, like, are you Marianne? She has to say yes.
Yeah, she can't lie.
So, I mean, that's the giveaway, right? So, this was obviously Marianne's like, no thank you. I don't think I'm gonna go home. Like, because the girl seemed a bit crazy. She was just like, no,
Emma,
you
you
have to go
mean.
home. Yeah, Emma was like, when she was presented by her friend saying, like, you have to go home, she's like, no, and then, something happens.
She has some
and-
scary dreams.
Yeah, she always has dreams. That's the thing. She's one of those, alcoholic writers who drinks to not hear the voices, but also has to write, or else she has nightmares.
Yeah, she's like the Randy Orton of writers.
So she has to write so she doesn't have nightmares, and she drinks
Yeah.
just for fun.
She created
But no, she drinks, no, she
created
drinks.
Lizzie to fight the nightmares. I
Yeah,
think she says at some
sort
point.
of.
So that was just cool.
J'ai écrit ces bouquins pour lutter contre elle.
Et comment Lizzie se débarrasse de Marianne?
Je sais pas.
She goes back to the hometown, and then she's
With
like,
her assistant.
the assistant that's
Cam.
and she goes to like, all right, well, let me like see what's going on. Let me say hi to my parents at least. Blah blah blah.
Well, because she couldn't get in touch with her parents, which was, I think, what
She
spurred
couldn't
her
call
to go.
them, yeah.
So she's like, her parents weren't picking up. She's like, what the fuck? So I'm just gonna go. Right.
Yeah, maybe there's something is wrong happening. In
Yeah,
the house,
exactly.
So she goes.
Turns out her parents were just fucking.
It's gross.
Ugh.
Anyway,
Like, that's why they couldn't answer. They had some other reason, but anyway, she ends up back in her hometown.
but then she goes to visit the before she leaves, her friend does something to
Yeah, I
herself.
said something happens, but I mean,
Yeah,
it's the first
sorry.
episode.
Yeah.
To spur her to go back.
So she goes to visit the
She gives her the necklace too.
the what necklace?
The necklace is the important part. Like,
I guess.
whatever, it doesn't matter.
So she goes to visit like the mother of the friend that said go back to your hometown, and the mother is probably one of the creepiest characters I've seen in a while.
She's possessed, okay? Let's
But
just say
even if she was not possessed,
this is a scary lady face, okay? This lady's face is horrifying.
They put out a poster.
Yeah.
Who has the most scariest face in all of France?
And like
they found her.
They found her because her just standing there was horrifying.
That's probably the thumbnail that I'm using for this video.
Yeah, just like her scary face.
Yeah. And this mother seems to be possessed.
Yeah.
By the demon Marianne, demon/witch, whatever you want to call it, and she basically taunts and basically stalks and tortures, but like harasses Emma throughout the rest of the show almost, pretty much.
Well, yeah, that's what she does. Like écrit, you're gonna say they're just screaming at her to write because she has decided she's gonna write something else now. She's gonna stop writing horror. Like Marianne is having fucking none of it. So she made all these things happen so that she can like sort of reach out to her again and be like, you have to. I'm putting you in a situation.
Keep writing to
I'm gonna fuck up your whole life. I'm gonna fuck up everyone, and you have to write.
She never really gets into the fact of what happens if you don't write. She doesn't say, but the implication is that I won't exist.
The killings.
No, but why if you don't write?
Like what happens to her? Like why is Marianne so obsessed with this?
Yeah, maybe that happens.
Yeah, because
it's
then she's
silenced,
I guess.
But bad things will happen if, like you said, there'll be murders, there'll be like, unfortunate events that'll happen. Maybe it'll happen to your friends, maybe it'll happen to your family, I don't know.
Yeah, so
I don't know what I'm gonna do, I'm crazy!
We're gonna try not to go into, because, everything is revealed and things like...
Yeah.
But to not spoiler, I guess, because this is a fairly new thing. We do want you to watch it because, like, again, spoiler, we're going to recommend it. But,
yes.
Like, just to say, things do unfold and things are explained in a way that, to me, is satisfying. So I guess we could go into, like, why we do like this series.
Well, first off, I want to say that, like, well, in the middle portion of the thing, I kind of felt it dragged here and there. It was still 8 episodes, so it still overall felt like a very concise tale. Like, it didn't go on too long like a fucking Marvel Netflix show. 13 episodes. If you don't have enough material, don't make that much material.
Europe knows how to do things short.
They do.
The British shows and,
French ones as well. So, I like that. A lot of the acting, not all the time, you can tell, even if it's, you understand French, I understand French a bit less than you, but you can still watch a thing and be like, okay, these are good actors or whatever.
You can tell by their faces.
And all the acting across the board was pretty solid.
Yeah, no, I thought it was.
I didn't say this to you before, but I actually, when I thought about it, I really liked the coastal town setting.
Oh yeah, me too. With like,
I forgot that has
to do with it, because the lighthouse, everything is like, and the fact that they call it the Fall really freaks me out, because I don't know, like, I feel like that doesn't feel like, it sounds like lighthouse. Le Fall.
Yeah, there's a lot of...
So, like, there was a school underneath this lighthouse, and it's all centered around events that happened. And again...
Yeah, in the past.
And And what I liked about the pacing of this is because they allude so much to these events in the past, 15 years ago. You're going to see it eventually, and they do dedicate, like, I think a whole episode to everyone being younger, because she goes back and she has this group of friends, the shipwreck crew, you would hang out by the shipwreck.
The Losers Club, basically.
Kind of. Yeah. You see what happened, and then it even goes deeper into how she became like hooked up with Marianne and why she left and all that stuff and like whatever. But they allude to it, they go to it. I think it flowed well. I don't know if you agree. Like, it didn't. You had pacing issues where you're like, I don't think this old lady should be Marianne for like the 8 episodes. That would be too much, and she wasn't.
Yeah, so thankfully, just as I was saying how this possession of the switch/demon into this old lady, it got a little tiresome for me. It was like at least like 2 or 3 episodes where it was just her being like, you can't really do anything to her. She's just like fucking up her life, and it got like almost annoying. But just as that, I started to really go, oh. Okay.
Yeah, you were about to give up, and I was like, am I gonna have to finish watching this one?
Yeah,
because I hate that. Like,
it was a bit annoying, but then they're like, okay, now this is going to be happening. I'm like, okay, I'm more interested. And then, like, the last bunch of episodes, I liked a lot, actually. Yeah. Especially, like, the last 2 or 3 were just, like, breakneck pacing of, like, let's go over here, let's try this, let's do this. My friends are helping me, blah 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 blah. And there was a really nice pacing from then on out. I kind of felt so.
Yeah, it did. Again, the whole thing for me, the pacing was fine. I didn't get that annoyed, that sense of annoyance you did, but I mean, I guess because I just knew it would be good. I mean, I don't know. One thing I like that you were like iffy about is that it's very literature and book themed. Every beginning of the episode, there's quotes, there's pages flipping,
Yeah, I like
there's little
the quotes.
recaps. It's very centered on the whole like art of writing and horror and stories.
During transitions, there's pages flipping, and I think that's just a little too literal. It's a little in your face. I'm like,
and it's like half a second.
No, I know, but they
like,
would happen often.
yeah.
But yeah, it was a minor thing. Still, though, the quotes and her being a writer, and when they actually have her writing, it's good.
Yeah.
Like it's actually a step above like just the regular dialogue because people speak like real people.
Yeah.
But when it has actually bits of her writing and
Her writing?
Her writing, yeah.
Her writing is over the top. Like reading it is different
Yeah.
than hearing it. I don't know.
I still think it was good. It's what I'd imagine her book to be.
I guess it was more Lovecrafting because it was over the top.
It was a little,
It was a little over the top, but
it was a little obscure.
That leads me to another thing, and we didn't talk about this though, but like her character of Emma, she's actually not the most likable. Not just because she's a raging alcoholic, but like she does shitty things to her friends.
She's a little selfish.
She's a little selfish, but in the end she tries to be selfless also. Like she spends half of the time her dialogue is saying, like, I'm sorry, pardon, je m'excuse, like, I'm sorry I did this, I'm sorry I did
like
this. But she was put in these, like, horrible situations where she did things she had to do, and, like, I guess she did sacrifice
Plus,
a lot.
a lot of her kids and the kids and her friends were all kind of stupid, like, they're all, like, not the best, and all of them kind of, like, grew up in different ways, and when she comes back, she's kind of in her own bubble for a long time. So when she comes back, she says pardon a lot because like she hasn't grown up in this town for the last 15 years. So
and like she did bad things and this and that and whatever.
I want to talk about before I forget the scares in this show.
Oh yeah.
There's at least like one or two creepy things like per episode. I don't know what I want to say. And a lot of them were not like the most frightening things ever, but a lot of them were still like effectively creepy. There's like a sleeping scene where her boyfriend kind of wakes up and does a thing, and I was like, ooh, I'm not into that.
It's the first part of the first episode,
Yeah.
and it's just like sort of sets the tone for what kind of scares they're gonna be.
Yeah.
Creepy eye scares, and then
there's a lot of like creepy eye movements,
like, creepy face things,
some like silhouettes and like doorways and things,
Yeah.
and then they will get like suddenly like really frantic and like a thing will come at you or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
And those were paced really well. Like no complaints about the
Yeah.
scares really.
And again, like the Madame, like possessive, like just her face by itself was scary, but then when they did extra things, I forgot her name, Madame whatever.
Yeah, she's just like really scary. She's got these giant eyes and she's just shoving ratatouille in your face. It's very scary.
Oh my gosh. Every time with anything French, you have to bring up ratatouille.
It's the most French. It's the most French thing I could think of. Any other like likes or dislikes? I don't know. You didn't dislike much.
I
right?
didn't.
No.
Well, okay, so her assistant, you were saying like at one point the assistant isn't in like the last few episodes, whatever.
She's just kind of written out of the story almost.
But to me, this assistant, she was just, she was there for a reason, but she was too empathetic when anything was happening. She was like, oh my god, like let's see, like it could be the old lady doing something disgusting, like tearing something apart, and then you'll try and like push her, and then she'll be like, give her CPR. Like she was just too empathetic of a character, I found. So I was
that's fine for maybe the first scary thing that happens or two, but like several things that happen where you're like, why would you not just run away from this?
Yeah.
Or why would you not ask for help? And she's like, no, let me help. What's going on? Yeah, she's a little too empathetic.
Like to her detriment.
To her detriment, exactly.
So, but I really.
Whereas like Emma's like, fuck this.
Yeah, well that's the thing. Like poor girl, because she's Emma's assistant. And
she has to deal with Emma.
Emma's the fucking worst. Like, she gave away, she did a bunch of stuff, and like this girl's trying to like help her fix her career. She's always getting yelled out by like the other publishers. Publishers are just like, what the fuck is going on? And she's like, I don't know, I'm sorry.
You should be doing this or that.
You're supposed to be in London right now. You're supposed to be finishing your tour. You're supposed to be doing this. And she's like, I can't control this bitch. Yeah. Which you can't.
So there's a lot of stuff going on, but like by the end of the show, it like has a really like satisfying like 1 or 2 episodes.
Conclusion.
it does kind of set itself up for a sequel.
It
but
does.
But not too, like, it could stop here or it could go on. I don't know.
Yeah, so I don't really know how it
Yeah.
would work, and I don't think it'd be as good if they do continue it. But
It
they
just
left the door
depends.
open, you know.
Just in case.
So to speak. They left the closet door
Yeah.
creepily open.
Oh God, that closet. That
Always with the
lots
closet.
of
Two
scares
of
with
them.
closets.
Lots of closet scares, so
Yeah.
beware.
So if that type of ending is maybe like you're like, that may not be like, I want to see something with a satisfying conclusion. It maybe not have the most satisfying thing, but I was still generally pleased with it. I was kind of like, okay,
Yeah, I was
I could take it or leave it, but overall, I really enjoyed it by the end. Like in the middle, I was kind of like, I don't know about this, but then it kind of won me back.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
But you liked it a bit more, I think.
Yeah, I was on board the whole time.
Yeah.
Let me say that.
So yeah, that's Marianne on Netflix. Again, I'm pretty sure it must be available to like most Americans.
Most Americans.
Certainly Europeans, I'd imagine. So that's that. So that's probably that's probably the only show we'll be reviewing for the Massacre. Last year we did The Haunted of Hill House, which it's
again worth it.
Its sequel is going to be out,
Oh, sure,
in a couple more months, maybe next year or whatever. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, that will be another McMuscles Midnight Massacre in the bag. I hope.
Dans le sac.
Dans le sac. Merci.
Okay.
Merci beaucoup. And we will see you tomorrow night.
Demain soir.
Demain soir.
Bonsoir. Bonsoir.
Bonsoir.
Bonsoir.